Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Duarte City Council meeting. Our mayor is currently not here, and Mr. Councilmember Lewis is down there. So. See a lot of friendly faces out there. I think I don't know those two. It's the only two. Only those two. But they came with you. Okay. All right. I'd like to call the regular meeting of the City Council at 7:08 p.m. Do I have a motion? Oh, no, I don't. Wait. Sorry. Wait a minute. Oh, there you go. Can we have a roll call?
We can. Councilmember Garcia.
Here.
Councilmember Trong.
Here.
Councilmember Scholes.
Here.
Councilmember Lewis.
Present.
Councilmember Kang.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Here. Thank
And the mayor, the record show that Mayor Finley is not in attendance tonight.
Thank you. That was our distinguished city manager, Dan Jordan. Thank you for doing the roll call. I'd like to ask, my son ran out when I told him he had to do the pledge, so. Oh, hey, Brian Barretto. He's all looking down.
He's the other son.
Can I have you lead us in the flag salute? You can't say no to me. It's the first time we've seen you in person in 3 years.
I got it. Could everybody please stand while they get the flag out? Just put your hand over your heart. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barretto. And so before I go to item 3, which is the adoption of the agenda, I'd like to just pull, it's from the consent, but it really is a presentation. It's the, where did it go? The which one is it? I? 7I up to, yes. It's a proclamation. It's the AAPI, the Heritage Month. If we can put it right after the Older Americans Proclamation. So, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Opposed? All right, we're going to get to item 4, which are the special items. And the first one up is proclamation for the Older Americans Month.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, City staff, and members of the public. My name is Susie Perez, Recreation Supervisor over at the Senior Center, and I'm here tonight to recommend that we proclaim May 2022 as Older Americans Month, and also to recognize our Senior Volunteer of the Year, Mr. Dennis Greenwell. Celebrated nationally, with this year's theme focusing on aging in place. This moment gives us the opportunity to really focus on the importance of our senior community and their needs, and also to celebrate their contributions to our community. Many of us have older adults as neighbors, families, and friends, and what a better opportunity to reach out to them and simply check in, let them know how about our services at the Senior Center, or just to say a simple hello. We can advocate together so older adults can explore the many ways they can remain involved in our community. Now I'd like to take a few moments to recognize our older American of the Year and also our Volunteer of the Year, Dennis Greenwell. Dennis, if you want to make your way up here, please. Everyone can see ya. So it is tradition that we celebrate all of our senior volunteers every year, and we select one special volunteer every year. And this year, we recognize Mr. Dennis Greenwell, and a lot of thought and consideration goes into making this selection. And Dennis, we felt, was a perfect recipient and fits the model for this year's theme, Aging My Way. He is one of our most active volunteers. He volunteers 3 days out of the week out at our pickleball courts, and he fills that up with five nets sometimes. How many people is that? About 30 people out there on any given day. And he's also our Tuesday bingo caller. I can always count on Dennis to arrive early and stay late to make sure all the participants are good to go. And I can always count on him for a good laugh and to give me a hard time. The amount of hours and time he spends weekly allows for myself and team to focus on different program areas. I know that some days were difficult to commit to due to the pandemic and its uncertainties, but Dennis still showed up with his themed mask and all. He doesn't have his mask on now, but he has a themed mask every time he comes into the senior center. He was recognized at our volunteer recognition dinner on April 29th, and he will also be recognized by the LA County Board of Supervisors at the Older Americans Recognition Day via Zoom on May 26th. Dennis, thank you for all that you do for our senior community, our senior center, and for making my job enjoyable and a good place to come to every day. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That concludes my presentation. I have some certificates, and we have 2 certificates here that we would like to recognize Dennis with. The first one is from Assemblywoman District 13 Blanca Rubio's office, and it reads, "It is with great honor that I join the residents of the 48th Assembly District in recognizing you for your unwavering dedication and commitment to the seniors at the Duarte Senior Center. I extend my sincere gratitude to you for the selfless acts of kindness you provide day in and day out. Congratulations on a well-deserved recognition."
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And the second one we have here is a proclamation, Older Americans Month, whereas the city of Duarte includes a growing number of older Americans who contribute their strength, wisdom, and experience to our community, and whereas the city of Duarte benefits when people of all ages, abilities, and backgrounds are welcomed, included, and supported, and whereas the city of Duarte recognizes our need to create a community that provides the services and supports older Americans' needs to thrive and live independently for as long as possible. And whereas the city of Duarte can work to build an even better community for our older residents by planning programs that encourage independence, ensuring activities are responsive to individual needs and preferences, increasing access to services that support aging in place, whereas Dennis Greenwell has been chosen Outstanding Older American for the City of Duarte for 2022. Now, therefore, the City of Duarte does hereby proclaim May 2022 to be Older Americans Month. We urge every resident to recognize the contributions of our older citizens, help to create an inclusive society, and join efforts to support older Americans' choices about how they age in their communities. Congratulations again, Dennis.
Thank you, Leanne.
Wait right there, Dennis. Does anybody remember Dennis from 2019? No. Okay. Well, I had the opportunity to serve as mayor back then, and Mr. Dennis guest starred in the This City video. So I'm going to play just a second of it.
No.
Because he was, oh no, Give your certificate to Mairead, your wife. Ready?
And when she comes down, you have to listen. I'll come up there.
You come up here. Well, I always wanted to make a video and obviously, of course, include our seniors because they got a lot of heart, a lot of rhythm, and as you can see, Dennis has a lot of moves. So thank you again. I hope to see you next year in the video,
You're there.
and congratulations.
Thank you.
So we're going to go ahead and go on to the proclamation for the AAPI, and I am going to request Councilmember Trong, if you want to go down to the person you want to present it to, is Heritage Month? Yes. You just have to, don't worry, you just have to do whereas.
I'll go down there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
Hey Dennis, Dancing with the Stars will be calling you soon.
Would you like us to take public comment first, or do you want to read first?
So this is the first time I've been on this
I
side.
know.
of the podium,
There's
so
always a first time, so.
believe it or not, I think I'm more nervous on this side than the other side. So this is the first time doing this as well. So I'll go ahead and read the proclamation, and I'll bring up Eddie Median from the LA County.
Hold on. Mr. Parks, is your comment meant to be before the presentation or after?
Okay, go. Sorry, Mr. Park.
Sorry, I didn't know you're on time this time, you know. Leo Paras, District 9, as you all know. Appreciate this proclamation of made with as Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. I just have a few comments with regards to this terminology because we all have this, what's that? I forgot the terminology. You know, Asian American. How do you mean Asian American? You know, maybe Mr. Jordan is also Asian American because Jordan is in Asia. Okay? The connotation of Asian American as we have it right now seems to be the Chinese, the Cambodians, and you know what I'm saying. And to come up with, and I appreciate this proclamation, okay? Asian American Pacific Islander includes Hawaii, Pacific Islander, right? This is just a comment. I appreciate giving an input for this. Again, I forgot the terminology, you know. Israel, East Asia, so they say it should be Asian American too. And I'm glad that our three, quote-unquote, Filipino Americans are actually classified in different ways. In some federal things, they're not considered Asian American. They're Hispanic Asian, you name it, and so on. I guess I only have one suggestion for you, and in the future, even the county, when they have all this kind of thing, is to add one letter. And that letter, okay, before I say that, I still have 54 seconds. You know, Iraq is Asia, you know, Kuwait, Smart Asia. What else? Fiji, Vanuatu, Islands, Pacific Islanders. Guess what that word I'm trying to add to this proclamation? The word heritage is a singular word, as the letter S. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Trump.
Thank you, Ms. Myers. I consider it
Oh, you can speak away from it.
Is it
They'll pick you. Yeah.
better this way? Can you guys hear me? Okay. I told you this is the first time here. I think I'm more nervous here. Again, I'd like to bring up Eddie Yin from LaSaya. Los Angeles County's Asian American Employees Association represents the county that we are incorporated with, and they're the guys that do all the work behind the scenes. So I'll go ahead and read this proclamation, and then I'll hand it off so Eddie can say a couple words. Asian American Pacific Islanders Heritage Month, whereas the fabric of a community is enriched and strengthened by the rich cultural diversity of the individuals and groups who comprise its neighborhoods. And whereas the Asian American and Pacific Islanders community represents many nations, cultures, and ethnicities, and whereas the values and traditions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders community have contributed to the growth and stability of our city, and whereas to honor the achievements and contributions of Asian American and Pacific Islanders, the United States Congress has designated the month of May each year as Asian American Pacific Islanders Month. And whereas the city of Duarte recognizes and appreciates the legacies and ingenuity, perseverance, and achievements of Asian American Pacific Islanders. And whereas the city of Duarte encourages all residents to honor our community members of Asian American Pacific Islanders heritage and celebrate our rich cultural diversity. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the city of Duarte hereby proclaims the month of May 2022 as Asian American and Pacific Islanders Heritage Month in the city of Duarte. I'll hand this over to Eddie, and so you can say a few words.
So I'm going to admit I'm used to being on this side as well. Let me introduce myself again. My name is Edward Yan, President of the LA County Asian American Employees Association. By day, I am the Assistant Executive Officer at the Board of Supervisors, which is the clerk of the board for the Board of Supervisors. I want to thank not only the Vin Trong, Councilmember Trong, but I just want to also thank Mayor Pro Tem, Councilmember Lewis, Councilmember Kane, Councilmember Schultz, Councilmember Garcia, and of course Councilmember Trong for recognizing the Asian American Pacific Islander Heritages Month. And to the city staff, I want to thank you for your continued service and dedication to the residents of Duarte. I myself, as a public servant, we understand during this pandemic and these times it was very tough, and it is your service to the city of Duarte that I think everyone should also be appreciating as well. Los Angeles County is home to 15% Asian American Pacific Islanders, while AAPI employees also make up 20% of the county's employees. My organization, the LA County Asian American Employees Association, is proud to advocate for these AAPI employees as well as the community, and to highlight the contributions of the many AAPI immigrants that have made to this great country of ours. So during this AAPI Heritages Month, we are honored that the city of Duarte has chosen to celebrate this month with our AAPI community. Thank you.
And thank you for coming tonight. I just wanted to say, when I was growing up, it was just like 3 columns, and I would write in other Filipino American. So I do understand some of the comments with regard to whether you're Asian American, Pacific Islander, or any number of things. And over the years, they've kind of clumped it all together, even with the census, yeah, right? You're either Hispanic, non-white, Asian, non-white, or a number of other things. So I think LA County, who makes up these months? Like, you know, it's Donut Day and Hamburger Month. Who makes them up? Is that the federal or state? Because I feel like there should be a way to maybe define things a little bit more. And so I do know, I'll just say this, because even you say Latinos, and depending on what kind of Latino they are, they may not feel that that other heritage is there. So I'm not, you know, saying that this is not the way. I just do hope that later on it's a little bit more either inclusive or maybe more identifiable. So I was always invited to the Chinese elected officials forever and a day. And so I think that those are some of the things where I always felt like if I could identify with someone who isn't me, it was always just as good. So again, I thank you for being here and appreciate you coming on behalf of Councilmember Chong's invitation, and we're going to keep on going. So again, thank you. Steve Hernandez, I'm so sorry I missed you on the older Americans. These are like, because they even confused me. Yeah. Because they even have it on things that is not, it's an agenda item, but they just, mostly people would just come up to speak on them. So I don't know if you wanted to say anything about Dennis, Steve? I apologize. No, and they're different colors, so just,
Yeah, what I wanted to say about Dennis is I've known him for quite a number of years, and we've done a lot together, but it was really rewarding to see him recognized for that. He's been an incredible individual, and I had the opportunity of working with him, especially at the larger dinners that we've had at the Senior Center. We were the two that could actually get over 100 people fed in about 30 to 40 minutes. We would have all the food out there, which was pretty fast. But we worked well together, coordinated well together, and his wife is just as incredible. She's really awesome, and I'll give you an embarrassing thing about me that came from them, and that is that for a while I was doing the calling of bingo, and the number B11 would come up, and his wife started yelling, "Chicken wings." So that is the name that she's given me, and she gives me every time she sees me, but you know, coming from them, it's purely a compliment, because it's just, you know, their spirit and the way they are, and I just truly enjoy them, and to hear that he's volunteer of the year just really, wow. I just don't think you could have picked a better person. So that's what I wanted to say.
well, thank you. They are a great couple here in Duarte, very active. We're going to move on to 4B, which is our Parks and Recreation Development Update. The Department of it. I didn't have the glasses on, sorry.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem Council. I did ask Ms. Perez, our fearless leader of the Duarte Senior Center, to stay behind because this afternoon we were presented with a certificate of recognition for our Senior Center in honor of Older Americans Month from Assemblywoman Blanca Rubio here of the 48th District. And it reads, "I commend you for your ongoing efforts at creating an environment where older residents remain active and independent, and for providing services that support aging in place. So I thought it was fitting to present this to Ms. Susie Perez on behalf of the Assemblywoman, and I want to thank Susie for all her work. So quickly in hitting the ground running over at our senior center and really making it feel like a place where all of our seniors want to gather and neighboring seniors as well want to come and be as well. So thanks, Susie.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now we won't hold you back. Have a good evening. Furthermore, I wanted to inform the council that in celebration of National Bike Month, which is in May as well, I'm not sure who came up with that, but we'll look into that for you. We invite the community to join City Council and City staff in honoring the late Lloyd Gibbons at his bike memorial along the Donald and Bernice Watson Recreation Trail. We'll have that ceremony with Lloyd's daughter and the council on May 24th at 11:30 a.m. So hopefully the public can make that, and we'll be right there on the east end, right there where Vineyard and Royal Oaks Drive meet. In addition, I wanted to also update the council that our work pertaining to the Fish Canyon Trail Restoration Project is underway, and we are very close to securing a professional services contractor to complete the assessment, all within the timeline and the project scope of March of next year. So I'll be coming forward back to council with a contract for your consideration fairly soon. And lastly, I'll leave you with that we have a save the date with regards to our first ever Party in Duarte summer kickoff, which will be June 21st, which is the first official day of summer 2022. And we'll start the festivities at 4 p.m. and it's going to take place here at the Civic Center in the parking lot. We're going to have a live concert, band, vendors, food booths from some of our local restaurants here. And then at about 7:30, we invite the public to walk on over to our Duarte pool to participate in a dive-in movie, and we'll be screening the movie in Canto. Other than that, that's all I have for you this evening. Questions?
Any questions?
Yeah, real quick.
Yes.
That means we're starting off this year with movies in the park again? Is that something that's coming back?
So we are starting our concerts in the park, and then we're actually this summer going to be doing a couple of dive-in movies in the pool. So on the 21st will be the first one, and then we'll have a second one in late July.
Okay.
Yeah, but we will have 4 concerts in the park, not including our July 3rd concert and fireworks celebration. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so we're on to the next item. Community Development, Mr. Craig Hensley.
Yes, thank you very much. Some things going on in the city right now that I thought people might like to hear about. Right now, the annual grid trim is going on. That's a fancy name for trimming trees. Our West Coast Arborist does a fantastic job, and if you've noticed throughout the city, some of that trimming is going on. This year is mostly in the north part of the city. I happened to be driving near Royal Oaks the other day, and they trimmed some of the pepper trees, and they did a really good job. So I want to let you know that's going on. It'll be going on for the next couple of weeks also. It's on the consent calendar this evening, but we have 2 projects going on that you'll notice people doing work in the streets in the next few weeks, so I want to point these out also. One is our annual striping project, and this is pavement markings, lane striping throughout the city. We do that every year, and that will be starting in the next couple weeks if consent calendar goes well this evening. Also, the annual asphalt repair. And this is a little bit different than the asphalt job that we just saw up by Valley View School. This is where different portions of the city where we have potholes, where we've had some asphalt that is in not the best shape. We go through the city, we repair that. That happens every year, and that project will be starting in the next couple weeks, so I wanted to point that out. A couple of development-related projects that haven't started yet, but I wanted to give you updates on them because I know there's been a lot of interest in the past. The Wyndham Hotel, it's first phase, 72 units. It's generally on the southwest corner of Huntington and Buena Vista. It's in plan check right now, and things are going well, and we'll see how that turns out, but I want to let you know that that's in process. Solana also, which is the second building down at the Duarte Station area, that's also in plan check. So if all things work great, we'll see permits for both of those being issued sometime this summer. They're both getting pretty close. So we've gone through a period of the last couple of years where we've been super busy, lots of development going on, and here's a couple more projects that, and there's other things too, but that go forward this summer. We're going to see a lot of development in the upcoming year also, so that's interesting. I also want to point out, and I did send an email to the council earlier, but maybe this is for the public and for others. Interesting website. The Esperanza building down on Fasana Road, 1700 Fasana Road. It's the 344 unit building that MBK will be the owner of. It's being built by R.D. Olson is the contractor. So on their website, they have a real cool video that basically shows drone footage of the construction. I sent the council the link, but for the public, it's rdolson.com, and that's Olson with an O, actually with two O's really, but Olson with an O. And if you go to rdolson.com, then go to project portfolios, under construction, and then go to Esperanza at Duarte, and it has a real interesting video that you can see around the entire project. When you're driving by, you can't see it from the top. It shows it from the top, so it's very interesting. My understanding, they're going to be updating that in the next few months as they make more progress, but I wanted to point that out. That's my presentation. If you have any questions, I'm available.
Any questions for Mr. Henley? Thank you very much. Good things still happen in Dory. All right, we're going to go on to item 5, which are announcements of upcoming events. I do have 2 speaker cards. Let's see. Let's do this. We'll start with Joanna G. I have yours down.
Good evening, City Council. Joanna G. from Duarte Library. Some upcoming events. Next Wednesday, the 18th, we have DIY Kaleidoscope for our kids ages 5 and above. That's at 2 p.m. We also have Make Your Own Mini Lifesaver for teens, and that's Wednesday, May 25th at 3:30. We also have Friends of the Duarte Library yard sale that's going to happen on May 21st, and that's at the Duarte Senior Center parking lot, and all proceeds go for books and supplies for the Duarte Library. And we also have free giveaway. We also have COVID tests and hand sanitizers. So if you know anybody, send them down, and that's it for me. Any questions?
We're all asleep. Thank you, Joanna. All right, Dan. I'm not going to try to say your last name. You're going? Perfect. Close? Oh, good. I've been practicing in my head, and I thought, I'll try it one time.
That's a good place to be. My wife is making me come up here and do this. So I hate being the center of attention, but
She's always right.
Sure.
this message is for all the men here who have relationships with the way the economy is going and inflation. I'm here to help you with a date night, very economically satisfying date night. We're going to have Jazz Under the Moonlight over at Duarte High School on Friday, May 13th. Starts at 7 p.m. Let's see. We have a special guest performer, Willie Murillo. Did I say that right? Did I say that right? Yeah, okay. She was whispering in my ear the whole time. So, we're going to also have the APU Jazz performing, as well as Duarte High School Jazz performing, and I think Citrus Jazz
is going to be performing at this event. We have VIP tables which seat 8 people. Those are $200 tickets for one VIP table that seats 8, and it comes with all-you-can-eat tacos, general admission, $10. So hey, a date for $20, and you get jazz under the moonlight, and a nice little cozy area of the high school. All the stories I could probably tell, and you could probably tell of that little spot in the school. Let's see. The general admission only includes tacos a la carte. So I think they're $5 for the tacos. So if you want one taco, $5. But if you buy the VIP table, you can bring your significant other and kids and all that stuff, and you can feed them for $200 for the whole night. So also, I'd like to announce the save the date for November 11th for the 9th annual Duarte Field Tournament. My wife is in charge of that, which means I'll be doing all the work, most of the work, or been told what to do. So, and with that, let's see. On a side note, I don't know if anyone from DCC is here. I guess the city of Duarte had made an announcement asking for applications for the City of Duarte Route 66 parade. My wife submitted the application without telling me. So, more work?
For you or for her? Look
You know,
at
she's
that.
Filipino. Do you honestly?
That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
That's why we should get our own proclamation.
There we go. I still have mine hanging up. So, let's see. So, in 2023, we're going to be having a parade, so make sure all of you have me off of your spam filters. So when I email you and get a quick response, we're going to get started on this real soon.
And what are you doing now, just to, for the record?
I am the
The
chair
There, okay.
of the City of Duarte Route 66 parade for 2023.
Very good.
I figure this type of community service is a lot better than doing it on the side of the freeway. Let's see, also with that, I know we've had a lot of great parade chairs. Hopefully they set this pedestal pretty high, so hopefully we'll be able to do just as well and keep the tradition going. So, also, the notes that she's sending me, we accept cash, check, and card for the Jazz Under the Moonlight. So, also on one last note, the Duarte Scout Troop, Troop 185. We just had about 20 of our scouts come back from our district camporee. They did a real good job, and we're going to have about 25 to 30 scouts going to summer camp this year for Scouts VSA, which is the scout troop for Duarte. So,
Wonderful.
questions, comments, constructive criticism? Anything?
Councilmember Schultz?
Where do you get the tickets for the event?
You can show up right there and get them right there. The VIP, what?
You can show up or you can,
Yes.
Call DHS?
well, you can call me.
Okay.
You can call my wife. I think that half the people here have her number already. We can get you that information. We have a flyer. It's also on the Duarte Chamber website.
Okay.
So you can get the information there for that too. So,
Thank you.
if you want to bring a date, perfect.
The trio family.
There you go. All right. Thank you.
You're funny, Dan.
Yeah, not all the time.
We'll have to get a certificate ready for Kim. Hello, Victoria.
Hello, I'm going to take a note from Dan's good build-ups to events and give you some more date ideas. So if you want to bring your sweetheart to the community cleanup this Saturday, we've got that going on from 8 to 2 here at Duarte City Hall.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's really awesome when your partner helps get rid of electronic waste and things like that. So it is free to residents, you just have to bring your ID. It's hosted by Vertec. We'll have Joyce out there assisting with getting our used oil containers if you're someone who changes your own oil still on your car. And the only thing to note is this event will not take household hazardous waste. That event takes place in the fall. This one is really only focused on things like bulky items, e-waste, some of your like residential C&D, picking up compost, things like that. And then the other exciting date would be the community yard sale. So you can buy someone something new to them on Saturday, May 21st, again, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., and that's at the Senior Center parking lot. Any questions? No? Thank you.
Thank you. I was gonna say something, but just don't tell Mom. You should have Mom do it. Next item is oral communications, and I believe, is this where you're gonna speak? Yeah.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Pro Tem, and members of the council, and City Manager Jordan and staff. My name is Brian Bretto. I'm the External Affairs Manager at California American Water. We are the, the water utility for the City of Duarte, City of Bradbury, Irwindale, and a portion of Monrovia that makes up our Duarte water system. And I'm here tonight to share some information. You've probably all read about these emergency water conservation measures that MWD and Upper has passed down. They both passed resolutions last week in April. I spent some time with City Manager Jordan on this, and I hope he shared this with you in closed session or prior to tonight. There is a lot of confusion out there. There's a lot of questions. What does this mean for water? Will we have water? Will we not have water? So what I wanted to do tonight is just provide you with a quick overview. We're planning to come back to your council on the 24th. Upper District will be here, and so will I, to give you some more insights. But the genesis of this is they passed down extreme outdoor water limits. You've probably read in the paper that it says 1 day watering outdoors. That is true for some water utilities. I can tell you this here in the city of Duarte, our residents and the customers we serve, we are not going to 1 day watering because of the way we manage the system and because of the way that Upper has interpreted the guidelines coming down from MWD. So right now we are in 3 days watering per household based on your address. Odd number addresses are 3 days a week, and then even addresses are another 3 days during the week. What we are planning to do to be good stewards in the community is go from 3 days to 2 days. We feel that through education, messaging, working with the cities, working with our customers, we'll be able to meet the reduction that they're asking for here in Southern California. And that's basically what Upper did with their resolution as well. So what I would do is encourage all of our customers, your residents, to prepare. The deadline is June 1st. It's coming very, very quickly. We are getting ready to gear up for a campaign that will educate all of our customers on the 2 day watering per week. We're going to do social media, bill text messages, bill answer, press release. We're also going to hold some community open houses as well, and we're doing direct mail pieces to our customers. We're also going to work with the city to put stuff up on your website that will link to our website. So it's going to be a full campaign that we're starting late this week, early next week. And so just so you know, the deadline is June 1st. I will impress again, our residents in Duarte will not need to go back to 1 day watering. It will go from 3 days now to 2 days. So we're only going to take 1 day away per week. So we feel that we can meet the needs of our community. We'll be able to save trees. People will still have shrubbery, and their lawns will still be green. I can tell you that should it ever get to be 1 day a week, customers' lawns, our customers' residents' lawns will just not survive. So we're hoping that we don't get to that point, and we're hoping that the water conditions and the drought get better as other districts go to 1 day watering weeks for the whole region as a whole. So we'll be back in on the 24th, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
question. So I sit on the E&R committee, and I heard about this water, I guess, usage maintenance about, I'd say like 3 weeks ago or so.
Yes.
Is there a reason why it's taking that long for us to receive the information so we can distribute it out to our residents?
So MWD and Upper didn't make their final decision until April 26th. And once that came out, we, as a water utility, needed to find out what the nuts and bolts of that resolution was. They passed it, but they didn't actually give us any of the meat on the bone, shall we say. And so we've gone through it. We had to go back to our regulator, the Public Utilities Commission, because we had a couple of options based on what Upper and what MWD passed. We could have gone, right now we're in stage 2, we could have moved to stage 3 of our own water shortage contingency plan. If we had done that to meet the percentage reduction that each of our customers needed to be at, we would have automatically gone to 1-day watering week. And we felt that we didn't need to do that. We felt we didn't want to put our customers and our communities in that position. However, we wanted to be in good standing with Upper and MWD, so that's why we're going to 2 days. But it took us a little while to work through the regulatory side from the Public Utilities Commission to let us know which way we should go or could go.
And now that you have all the information, as you mentioned, you're going to distribute that in social media, newsletters, and so on and so forth. We'll be working with our city staff to be able to put that out through our social media and your social media pages as well, right?
That is correct.
Okay. I have a couple of residents. They got a hold of me, reached out to me, and
Sure.
asked me questions, and I was just, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. So I just wanted to make sure that they're going to get the information.
Yeah, we're happy to share it with you. We should have some more information by the end of this week. I would say this, if you do receive calls from your residents, our customers, feel free to give them my name and my phone number. I've given it to City Manager Jordan. He has all my information. I'm happy to take their calls. I'm happy to respond to their emails to clarify which direction we're going. There is a lot of confusion out there. There are lots of questions. There are more questions than there are answers at this point. And a lot of the water utilities across all of Southern California, particularly LA Basin, are scrambling a little bit to get that message out. And there may be more. There may be a lot of questions. I know that Monrovia is doing something slightly different. They're not limiting their water days. They're doing it on an allocation. So there may be, and we do serve a portion of Monrovia, so there may be some questions as to, well, why is Monrovia doing it this way, and why is California American Water doing it differently? We're trying to work through the process to meet the same goal, and we have the flexibility because of the way Upper San Gabriel has implemented their resolution. They've given the producers more flexibility to meet the needs of our community. Thank you.
Thank you. And I appreciate you coming tonight, although I think that's probably all the questions you're going to take.
Perfect.
We'll be back at our next council meeting.
Yes.
And so that way you're on the agenda.
Perfect.
Right?
Yes, that's what we had planned. So I just wanted to be. Dan asked me to come and give brief remarks. So thank you.
There's confusion, but when is there not?
Right.
So I think we can get you guys to clear it up for our residents, and we can distribute the information.
We'd be happy to. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Okay, we are now, anyone else for oral communications? We are now on, bye.
Don't go away, I'm talking.
I will leave.
Mayor Paras, District 9. The special meeting of the City Council usually like workshop, start at 4 o'clock in most cases. And a lot of people who might participate or would like to attend are probably still earning their hard-earned money. And to a certain extent also, some City Council members cannot make it because they're also, for whatever reason. So I suggest that, I know probably the city manager coordinate that, who is available, but, I think 5 o'clock, 5:30, or even 6, depending on the subject matter, so that all council members can attend, and the public who wants to attend may also attend. 2, farmers market, 25K. During the workshop, which Mr. Kang was not able to attend to, I have concern about that in the sense that the 25K, that was also, farmers market concept is a good idea. That was done by private concern or a community thing using the Right Aid area. It was good for a few days, for a few weeks. So maybe location is not the right way at Santa Teresita because there's no built-in crowd. More details onto that because I only have 1 minute to go. 3, monthly periodic meeting about department head. Appreciate that, that's good. I'm sure, not I'm sure, but I will only speculate the city manager, with the approval of the city council, made that happen. 4, restriction on water. Water police, come on. More people use it, charge them more. That's all. There's more to that. What about people who just water their vegetable garden in the lawn, like me, which is 80% of my lawn, front lawn is vegetable. 5, I really apologize to one of my favorite amigo for not mentioning his homeland during the Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage, should be Heritages Month, and that is Mr. Borat of Kazakhstan, which is also in Asia. Thank you. That's Borat, okay?
We're still on oral communications.
You only get 1 day a week now with water for that job.
Steve Hernandez. I'm going to run against Lino in District 9 in the next election.
I'll endorse you.
Dude, you guys are all comedians today.
It's District 9. Oh, so. If the council will allow me, Mr. Paris, could you stand up real quick?
Yeah? No, my belly is, I'm trying to work on my belly.
Oh, who needs love? I have charm. That's all.
Okay, that's confidence.
What's requested for?
That's confidence, and I'm sure that if everybody has that confidence, this world gonna be flaming with happiness.
Wow.
This war or this world?
This world.
War.
You know how that works. Okay, any more oral communications? Now we're on to consent, and remember that we did pull the other item to be moved, but do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Opposition? Let it reflect that again, our Mayor Finley is not here today, so there was nothing, well, no, it was moved up. So now we're on item 9, business items. Okay, wait. So this is a joint exercise of powers agreement forming the Rio Hondo San Gabriel River Watershed Management Joint Powers Authority to address watershed management. Adoption of resolution number 22-15 approving the adoption of the joint exercise of powers agreement and authorization for the mayor to execute the agreement with the cities of Duarte, Arcadia, Bradbury, and Monrovia, and Sierra Madre. Mr. Hensley?
Thank you. It's been kind of a wacky meeting so far, and I apologize. This is fairly dry, so there's not going to be much wackiness in this. And on the mouthful, I'm going to call it JPA, okay, Joint Powers Authority. As you just pointed out, this is a proposal for a Joint Powers Authority for the Rio Hondo San Gabriel River Watershed Management Area. It would be between the cities of Duarte, Arcadia, Bradbury, Monrovia, and Sierra Madre, and it would allow the cities to work together as a group to address the watershed management issues that we have collectively and to meet our requirements as a group. The idea for this JPA is not new, but we've not had one in the past. Back in 2013, these same cities coordinated through an MOU to develop the Enhanced Watershed Management Program. Sometimes we'll refer to that to the EWIM. And then 2016, to meet new requirements, we readdressed that MOU to address the new stormwater requirements that the state brought down. And that EWIMP was revised to a watershed management plan, or a WIMP. There are a variety of stormwater projects that the cities together need to work on. And while that MOU arrangement has worked very well between the cities in the past, it is not the most efficient process as we move forward, as we get into constructing, needing to ensure, managing, and also maintaining over time the facilities that we as a group of cities are going to have to build. And let me give an example to explain all that. Part of the plan that we agreed to with all the cities is to build a infiltration facility in Canto Park. And basically how that works, under the ball field areas, there will be some storm drain run into that area. Underground, you won't see it after they build it. You'll see the field on top of it. Water will collect there during storm events, and it will infiltrate down into the groundwater. So we're required to do that. As a group of cities, we're required to do that. That is in our park. So how this helps us is that since we're not the only city that's responsible for this, we don't want to be solely responsible for construction or for the insuring of that facility or for the long-term maintenance of that facility. So this JPA will allow us as a group to manage that. And when that gets built, we as a city can have an agreement with the JPA as they build something in Encanto Park. The intent to be able to fund this is to use our Measure W funds. And those are stormwater funds that are collected through the county off property taxes. And all the other cities that are involved in this are taking action during this month also. So with that, we would recommend adoption of Resolution 2215, which allows the mayor to sign the agreement to create the JPA among the cities. And if you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them.
I have a question. You were talking about, your presentation was great. I think that it makes sense to join forces on this. But I was wondering about Encanto Park. You had talked about how they're going to bury something under the field. Mm-hmm. Is it going to be like toward the edge where the vegetation is growing, like the little trees and where the little piping is? Or is it going to be right in the middle of the soccer field?
Well, right now, it's in the planning stage right now. And the city's received a grant for this, so there's not a direct cost. But so it's in the planning stage right now, and it appears that it's going to be located at the southeast portion of the field. So basically, all the soccer fields there are going to be basically redone on top of this facility. But it'll be back. It'll be probably in the
by the museum.
Yeah, over in the area by the museum. And the reason it needs to be there. There's a certain size that it needs to be, and it also is where it has best access to the existing storm drain line, which is in the ground already through that park.
Oh, okay. I was confused. I thought you were gonna dig under the field, and that was gonna be terrible if that's where everything aggregates.
Well, it will be under the field, but the field will go back on top of it. And basically, the advantage for us is that we get a new soccer field out of it. And Manuel's very excited about that.
So, but it won't have like standing water on it though?
No, it
Just
will not
to
have,
be clear.
this is a concrete structure.
It'll be low enough below the ground?
Way below the ground.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I'm not proficient.
Oh, that's fine. Basically, the way it works is that from that, during a storm event, when it rains a lot, it collects below ground in a chamber, and then over time, it will infiltrate, percolate into the ground, and it recharges the groundwater in there.
So the staff recommendation is that we approve this?
Absolutely. One other advantage, I didn't get into this, one other advantage is that Amanda did a great job in the time that she was here in terms of dealing with this particular stormwater issue, but we are getting to the point where takes a massive amount of staff time. So I think all the cities feel that way. So being able to get a third party to help us manage those issues, now that we've got through all the jumping through the hoops we've had to do over the last few years, would be really helpful. And one of the reasons this kind of got held up over the last few years is that we were kind of, as a city, in the lawsuit, and we couldn't really form the JFA during that period. So other cities were nice enough to wait until that was resolved and we got time to work on it.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Can we have a roll call, please?
We may. Councilmember Garcia.
Yes.
Councilmember Trong.
Yes.
Councilmember Scholes.
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis.
Aye.
Councilmember Kang.
It's been a long time, but yes.
And Mayor Pro Tem Faris Karachi.
Yes, and it has been a long time. Thank you. So that passes 6-6. Okey dokey. Item 11. Wait, oh, item 10, continuation of oral communications. Seeing none. Item 11, items from City Council members, and I'm not gonna ask, no, she always asks everybody, so no. Dr. Jordan?
Nothing specifically for this evening, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. I do want to say that I'm going to be out of town for next week, so the role of acting city manager is going to fall into the very capable hands of our assistant city manager, Kristen Peterson, who couldn't be here this evening, but will be here during the week. So that's all for me. You can. I probably won't be too easy to contact during that time. So, but if it's something critical, I will have a telephone with me. So there you go. That's it for tonight. Thank you.
City Attorney?
Nothing tonight.
Wait, Dr. Jordan, can you disclose where you will be going to, perhaps? It might be intriguing all of us.
Well, I'm just attending a wedding for a good friend of ours, but it's a little bit of a distance away.
Let me go ahead and go start with Councilmember Lewis.
I have nothing tonight. Thank you.
Councilmember Kang.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Just really quick, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but I didn't know this before too, that we have these city track meets that Jack was in it, right? And so was my daughter, Yasmina was in it, and I'm very, very proud to say that she actually won the whole entire city, the 50 yard. I think she got first on the relay, and then she got second on the 200. And then there was a regional, I think it was this weekend, and then I believe Ian's daughter, is it Abigail? Mm-hmm. Abigail was also over there too, and we did great. It was amazing, and you kept on hearing, you have people all the way from Rose Meets, I think it's maybe some South Pass, all the way down to Laverne, and you just kept on hearing Duarte, like first place, second place, third, whatever. It just makes me so proud to be, a Duartean, and it's really cool that, we have such a small little town, but we have so many good athletes, and we're so cohesive too. Just through different schools, how we bond together and having all these good parents and good athletes, it's really refreshing. It's cool to know. So, but I just want to appreciate and thank all the parents, especially all the athletes, that they were, conducting the track meet in San Dimas last week, and I think in about 2 more weeks then we'll be going to City of Downey, And then after that, who knows, then we're gonna go to San Diego for like a state thing. I don't know, we'll see how that goes, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say, thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Garcia?
I just hope everybody all the moms had a great Mother's Day. Fun fact, on May 10th, in countries like El Salvador, Guatemala, and Mexico, Mother's Day is observed. So today, happy Mother's Day. Feliz Dia de las Madres. I'm thankful for the short meeting. I'm going to go take my mom to dinner.
Yay! Good.
Taco Tuesday?
Come at us.
What time is the reservations? We'll all be there.
Let's go.
Councilmember Schultz?
I'd like to say thank you to all the teachers. Last week was Teacher Appreciation Week, and I am so grateful for all of the teachers and principals, administrators in our district. I think that they are doing their best, and I really appreciate the teachers and all that they go through. So I want to appreciate them. The Mother's Day tea at the Senior Center was lovely on Sunday. Manuel and actually Susie did a great job. So I will second his support of her earlier, but I will also say that he did a great job because in the midst of it, he was going from table to table, fulfilling all the needs of all of our seniors, and very much appreciated. This Sunday, there's going to be a tea sponsored by the Duarte Women's Club at Westminster Gardens, 1 to 4. I've been asked to make cucumber sandwiches, so if you're interested, come over and try them.
I am.
Yay. And otherwise, thank you all. If anyone wants to bowl on May 26th for a fundraiser for One Legacy, who will actually be in our neighboring city, Azusa, then let me know. I need a couple more people. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Trump?
Thank you to the city staff, and colleagues for the proclamation for the API Heritage Month, or Heritages Month. Thank you to all the hardworking teachers out there and all the mothers out there, because we men know that it's not going to happen without them. So, but Dan, I feel you. I get volunteered for everything. So I appreciate you guys, and have a good night.
All right, thank you. I'm just going to make this as quickly as possible, but the senior volunteer event was great. Again, thanks to Susie. And had the opportunity to see many, many friendly faces in a long time. So it was a wonderful event, as well as the Mother's Day tea that followed it. Again, you know, our senior center, the staff, and so forth do such a great job to make them feel very welcomed and cared for. So I thank you as well. I'm still not a senior, but getting close. But I think I get a all-year pass, so it's okay. And then the last thing really is, you know, we've had some changes in our city and some challenges, and I feel like our staff has still continued to get together and pivot and figure it out. It may not be perfect all the time, but they're trying, I know that. So with that, is there any other, Cinco de Mayo, that was why it was Mother's Day tea. Kristen was gonna serve tequila margaritas, but, because it was happy hour, that's why no, I'm just kidding. But usually the budget workshop starts at 4. But the other workshops do not, and I think there was one special meeting, so I just wanted to address that. And it's still early, I get like 30 more seconds. No. But if there's nothing else, this meeting is now adjourned.
Wow, that's easy.
Did you